What's your I did not see that one coming story? I work in IT, and a few weeks ago my boss came to me with his 30-year-old 1993 Toshiba laptop. He told me it had locked up and he needed me to fix it, but after taking one look I knew I couldn't do it. The laptop would barely open as its two sides were stuck together. Almost all the keys had faded off. The screen was literally loose and about to come off, and when I opened it to check the battery, it was leaking. I told him it was time to buy a new laptop, but he yelled at me saying he didn't care how long it took. He needed it fixed. I wanted to scream and punch him, but instead I smiled, nodded, and got to work. I stayed at this laptop for 3 hours and tried everything I could to even turn it on, but nothing worked. I got so frustrated I started slamming my head against the desk, and that's when I accidentally slammed my head against the laptop. The laptop buzzed, and I thought to myself, no way. I clicked the power button, and it turned on perfectly. Once I was in, I looked through the laptop, a task that took almost an hour because each click of the pad took a minute to register, and all I had found was one folder called Old Pics. I really didn't know what else to do, so I went back and gave the laptop to my boss. He didn't say much and just thanked me for my time. Well, about an hour later, he and his wife came over to my desk. He had a huge smile and she was crying. I stood up to greet them, and I was totally unprepared for what followed. The lady started thanking me over and over, and the boss pulled me into a huge hug in front of the entire IT department. I awkwardly hugged him back and then asked them what was going on. The wife spoke up, and she was barely able to hold back the tears. She told me that by turning on the laptop, I had accessed the pictures they thought were lost. Turns out that many years ago their son had died of leukemia, and the pictures in that folder were taken right before his diagnosis when he was 3 years old. A few years after his death, they had a house fire, and that's how they lost every single photo they had of him. The pictures I recovered turned out to be the only ones that still existed. In the aftermath, my boss forwarded an email to the CEO, specifically thanking me for what I did and putting in a word, and it wasn't even 2 weeks later I got a promotion I had been striving for.